Hidely ho, drinkerinos. Welcome to another episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast. Today, we have aphrodisiac food expert Amy Reiley on the show. She's going to talk all about how you can plan for a spicy evening with your partner by using some simple tricks in the food and drink department. We're going to talk about what to stay away from and what to maximize on those dates coming up for the holidays so that you have a fun night when you get home and so you're not all bloated and weird. Anyway, we're going to talk all about that with Amy. Plus, we're going to check in on Sockeye, see what's going on over there, maybe do some Friday night pints, and we're going to delve into the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar. All that and more coming up on today's episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast. It's time for the Warren Reserve cocktail of the week, and this week's cocktail is a nice one to warm you up during these cold nights. This is the Cherry Jubilee. You're going to need 3/4 ounce Scotch whiskey. Scotch. Anything from the lowlands to the highlands will do. I would probably go highlands with this one. You want something probably a little bit on that honey side, less on the big smoke. 3/4 ounce Rosso vermouth. Any vermouth will do. 3/4 ounce sweet vermouth. 3/4 ounce cherry brandy or liqueur. I'd go brandy. 3/4 ounce fresh orange juice, 2 dashes of Warren Reserve barrel-aged Emmett cherry bitters, and 1/4 ounce of burnt sugar syrup. You're going to pour all of that into your shaker with ice. Shake it up. Oh, give it a good shake until that thing is nice and cold, almost too cold to the touch. Then you want to strain that into a frozen coupe and enjoy. Maybe if you want to do like a cherry, like a nice whiskey cherry in there as a garnish. I think that'd be pretty good. So that's the Cherry's Jubilee, and that is your Warren Reserve cocktail of the week. Do you have a bunch of people on your gift list this year and no idea what to get for them? Well, you can get them the gift of amazing cocktails with the Idaho Booze Podcast gift set from Warren Reserve. Use my promo code BLACK25 and get 20% off any gift set on WarrenReserve.com. It's the Cherry's Jubilee, and it's our Warren Reserve cocktail of the week. This show brought to you by Warren Reserve and WarrenReserve.com. It's here. Holiday season has arrived and Warren Reserve has an amazing deal for you. It's the Idaho Booze Holiday Bundle. Go to WarrenReserve.com and check out an array of authentic handmade bitters and cocktail syrups arranged in beautiful black boxes that make the perfect gift for friends, family, coworkers, postal workers, garbage pickup crews, weird uncles, crazy aunts, and anybody else you need to shop for this holiday season. What's that? You want more? How about 20% off these gorgeous holiday bundles using my promo code BLACK25? Idaho Booze Holiday Bundles available exclusively at WarrenReserve.com. Get 20% off with my promo code BLACK25 today and start crossing some names off that holiday gift list at WarrenReserve.com. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz, and we're going to do a little Friday night pints here. Actually, just went to Sockeye to hang out with my boy Brian over there. He's doing well, thank you for asking. And we got into a couple beers over there. They had a lot of fun stuff on, first of all. There was a couple of beers. Let's see. There was one that was like it was a Pilsner that was aged on oak and Brettanomyces. Don't remember what it was called. Sockeye, I need you to clean up your website. There is no way to figure out what's on tap at your only location. So maybe get that going so that I can remember the names of these beers. So there was a Brett Pils that was really good. It had a really strong Brett flavor and Brett profile when you first took a sip, but the second sip was really nice. And it was a really tasty beer, and I can't remember what it was called. And then the other thing that I had was a Belgian quad that they had on. I think it was called Vesper, and it was really, really good. And that was nice and fruity, big plum notes, big booze, just a really nice big Belgian quad. I really dug that one. Next time I think I might go for a pour of that, whatever that is. But the ones I had pours of, I started out with the Striker Kolsch. This is a nice fruity Kolsch, fruity nose, blackberry, cracker malts, lemony hops on there. Big fruity flavor, nice esters, kind of a long finish on this one, but it wasn't bad. Like I don't mind a nice, like kind of fruity interesting Kolsch. I do like them crisp and clean, the German style, but I find this more like the American style, where they must have fermented it warm, because it got a lot of those fruity flavors that I really like that the Kolsch yeast can bring. Fun thing about a Kolsch, a lot of people don't know this. You can ferment it cold like a lager or warm like an ale. It goes both ways. And when you ferment it cold like a lager, it's crisp and clean with that little bit of bite, like a little bit of like yeasty bite. When you ferment it warm like an ale, or like a little bit warmer, a little bit cooler than an ale, you ferment it right around 65 degrees, I want to say 63, 65, something like that. You get this big fruity flavor, and that's what this one got. And apparently this is going to be the official beer of AC Boise, which is a soccer something. Anyway, 5.1% alcohol, 22%, 22 IBU, not percent, 22 IBU. Check that one out at Sockeye. What else did I try? Short Night In. This is a stout on nitro that Brian went ahead and brewed this one. We used to have one like kind of one like this at Edge, but this one is less Irish, more oatmeal. It's got a really nice sweet note to it where the oatmeal comes in. Love oatmeal stouts, so I was on board with this one real quick. Finished slightly bitter with those big kind of roasty notes that malt brings, that black malt or that roasted malt brings. Really, really nice. Only 4.1% alcohol. Short Night In stout on nitro over there at Sockeye. Bardenese. This is Bardenese hazy IPA. So they were doing some work for Bardenay and decided to make a hazy. This one really nice, easy drinking hazy IPA. Lots of peach, lots of stone fruit, lots of juice on the nose. Lightly hopped, not too bitter, super juicy, goes down really smooth. Nice beer. I really enjoyed this one. I think it was right around 6% alcohol. And then my favorite Sockeye beer, the Moltegrazi, as you all know, the Italian Pilsner. This one they have on cask with a couple of different hops. I know one of them was Nelson Sauvin. The other one, I can't remember the other one was. So it had 2 hops on there. Nelson Sauvin, something else. Super juicy. You definitely get that kind of Sauvignon Blanc, that white wine kind of flavor you get from a Nelson Sauvin hop. In the cask, I could take it or leave it. I thought it was a little heavy. Didn't have that kind of nice crispness that I like from that stout, but it was a tasty stout with those hops in it. So I'll give them that nice little hoppy version of that stout. Or no, I'm sorry, not that stout, that Pilsner, the Moltegrazi Italian Pilsner on cask, hoppy version with Nelson Sauvin hops. I'd give it a try. If you like a hoppier, like a West Coast, I guess this might be an Amalfi Coast, Pilsner, Moltegrazi on cask. Give it a try. Overall, though, I'd say the Short Night In stout, big winner. Striker Kolsch, also very nice. The hazy IPA was all right. So that will do it for Friday Night Pints. We're going to come right back with Amy Reiley. She's going to tell you all how to date properly and achieve that ending that you want for the date. She has all sorts of tips and tricks and a lot of fun stuff coming up next on the Idaho Booze Podcast. Pardon our dust. Treasure Valley Chevron at Highway 55 and Beacon Light is expanding to offer you more on-the-go goodies, beer, wine, cider, coffee, soda, everything you need for all of your adventures, big and small. Treasure Valley Chevron already has the best assortment of chips, dips, sandwiches, jerky, hot sauce, tallows, and more. And now we're able to offer you, that's right, more ready-to-go meals, more coffee, more soda, more beer, more wine, more ready-to-drink cocktails, just more. Get to Treasure Valley Chevron today and see what you have been missing. Highway 55 in Beacon Light or I-84 and Gowan Road. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz here with Amy Reiley. She is an expert on all things food, drink, and sex. And we're going to get into it. Amy, how are we doing today?
Good, thank you. I like that intro.
Not bad, right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I can do a few things well. Not many things, but a few things I can do very well.
I think that's important. You just need a few things.
Almost none of the things we're talking about today.
Ouch. I have a feeling you're an outstanding drinker.
Nice of you to say.
I've listened to your show, so yeah.
Now tell us a little bit about yourself, Amy. What is your what do you do? What's sort of your what is your expertise? and kind of to get into what we're talking about today, how did you become so excited about aphrodisiacs?
Oh, well, so I am considered a leading authority on aphrodisiac foods. And what that means is basically I study the relationship between food and sex and how food can improve your romantic life. And that, of course, includes wine and spirits because they are all historically considered aphrodisiac and, for pretty obvious reasons. Um, I got into this completely accidentally. I was working as a wine writer for several years, living in Northern California, and I just needed to diversify. And this was a topic that I really accidentally fell into originally. I wanted to do something with health, which is an odd jump from wine to health, although you could make the argument that wine is healthy in moderation. And so but I found this topic which kind of combines food history and mythology, wine, of course, and sex. So when I discovered it and started writing about it and researching it, I just went with it. And what was really fun and challenging at the time is there was very little information when I started. Most of it was from an anthropological standpoint. Now, we've got some science to back it. And of course, people in the health and nutrition field embrace it. And so here I am.
Look, Amy, if we're going to giggle every time we say the word sex or we talk about sex, it's going to be a very long interview with very little going on here. So I need you to button it up here.
Okay.
And, we need to get mature. This is a mature conversation about mature things. Obviously, just kidding. Giggle away, I say. So generally speaking, I like to start out with a simple question, something to kind of get us into the flow of the conversation. So generally speaking, which wine food pairing will get me laid?
Oh, you just jumped right in. Okay. So that depends. And what you need to think about is the person that you are trying to romance, right? It doesn't really matter you're already ready if you're thinking this way. You have to think about them. So for me, the answer would probably be champagne and oysters. However, if you look at my partner, my husband can't stand either one of those things. So,
oh no,
if I, created an evening for the two of us revolving around champagne and oysters, it would be ridiculous. He would starve and be angry with me. So
You'd be sitting over there eating oysters, drinking champagne, all charged up, and he'd be like, "Look, I just want to read the paper."
Mm-hmm. So you have to think about your partner and what they appreciate, and then put it into this romantic context. There are hundreds of foods that have been considered historically aphrodisiac. Some actually have more potential than others. On my website, Eat Something Sexy, I have 88 foods listed that have both history and some science behind them that make them aphrodisiac. I have a feeling among 88 foods, you could find something that both you and your partner could enjoy. So you pick that food and then you pick a drink that you think would go well with it, because all alcohol is considered aphrodisiac as long as you don't overdo it. And you will probably have a very successful pairing and a perfectly flowing romantic evening.
This is like a record, I think 430 somewhere in there, where you got your plug in for your website, eatsomething.sexy.com. Very good, Amy. Very good. I like you. You're a pro.
I am. I've been doing this a long time.
So I can go on to eatsomething.sexy.com and look, gentlemen, guys out there, who knew? Think about what your partner wants. I don't know. Okay. If you say so, Amy, you're the expert.
Revolutionary thinking, I tell you.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally, fine. I'll give it a shot, but we'll see. How does food, this is another like really simple question. How does food travel all the way down there? Like, how do we get from eating something to where it's actually, what's the science behind this?
Oh my gosh. No one has ever asked me that question before. And I love that. So it doesn't like physically travel.
Thinking about my partner.
Obviously. So what it does, it may excite you in other ways. Some foods have an immediate physical reaction, like chili peppers. They make your tongue tingle. They make your lips plump up. They make you look and seem more kissable. They also raise your body temperature. So you're a little more ready to tear off your clothes. You're already feeling hot, right?
This is interesting. Now we're getting into it. All right.
It could be as simple as something like coffee. Coffee, obviously, is going to give you a bit of energy. You get home and you're like, oh, great, we were going to have this romantic dinner. Oh, okay, fun. All I want to do is go to bed. Have a little coffee.
She's going to try to feed me oysters again.
Yes. Coffee not only obviously has caffeine, which gives you energy, but coffee is a known mood booster. And you're just not going to be in the mood for sex if you're in a bad mood or just a lousy mood. So a little coffee goes a long way in terms of getting ready for a romantic evening. And, it's funny. I always say evening. And of course, it can happen any time of day. It bothers me when I do that.
Yeah.
Any time of day is a good time.
That's right. Amen. So it's more about sort of you're saying it's more about maybe the texture, more about the way the food reacts to your body, and more about kind of the way that the food works once it gets like around you.
And sometimes it's the implied aphrodisiac. Like we all tie chocolate with romance, right? So it could be strawberries dipped in chocolate and, oh, you're trying to romance me. Believe it or not, that helps. That being said, a lot of what I teach and speak on is foods that improve your sexual health, so that you have your optimal sex drive, that you have better sexual performance. So those foods are foods generally, if anything that you hear is good for heart health, is great for your sex life. And that's how it gets down there. It gets down there by improving circulation. So anything that's antioxidant rich, dark chocolate, and anything that's heart healthy, like oats, which I know sound unsexy. Man, I
knew the word fiber was coming.
Fiber was coming. Of course, fiber was coming. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, cool. So let's lay out a scenario. Let's go ahead and let's set the mood here. So we're going out. I'm going out on a date, and I want the date to be. It's maybe the second or third date, wherever you want to be. Wherever these days, it's like maybe you just met. I don't know how it works, but so you're setting up the date. You have a night planned, and first you're gonna maybe hit like a little bar or something, get something to drink. Then you're gonna hit like a restaurant for some food, and then maybe you're going back to your place for some wine or whatever afterwards. So what can I do within this scenario that will make it so that we hit the optimal arousal point?
Okay.
By the time we get
more than what you should do, I can tell you what you should not do.
Go ahead.
So we're starting out. We've just named 3 places where we're probably going to be drinking, and I'm all for it. However, just watch the number of drinks, because you know what's going to happen if you get nervous and you have a few too many, and then you go back to your house and have more wine. Like, it's all over. Okay, so that's the first thing. That was obvious. But the second one is a little less obvious. So when you get to that restaurant, I want you to look at that menu and not only think about what sounds like delicious to you, think about how that food normally makes you feel. If you want to go for that giant porterhouse steak, think about how you typically feel after eating something like a steak. It's usually like ready to go to sleep. You might not even make it to inviting the person over for that last glass of wine, because you're so exhausted from trying to digest this steak. So foods that are hard to digest are not a good choice. Lighter meals are always best. Heavy pastas, I would stay away from that as well. So it's really like looking strategically at your menu. What is something that you're going to enjoy that's still light and is going to make you feel light and energized?
So this is why I advocate for the opposite approach, where you do the romance first, and then afterwards go and do the date. Yeah. Doesn't that make more sense?
That yes, actually, that would make some sense. Although that steak may eventually clog your arteries, and then you will, there's no sexual performance at all.
That's way down the line. That's future
Worry about
Steve's
that
problem.
tomorrow. Okay.
Current
Fair
Steve, I love the porterhouse steak idea. I don't know that I can still eat a porterhouse, to be honest with you. It's very sad for me, but they are really, really good. So we all know about oysters and chocolate. You talked about chili peppers. What are some other foods that maybe we wouldn't think about that get us like all, tingly?
Okay, so believe it or not, there are some foods that you're like, what? That can't be. That is not sexy. Like a sweet potato. The sweet potato is great for your sex life. So,
wow.
Yeah, can put that in there. Citrus fruits also can be beneficial to your sex life. Ginger has some of the same effects as chilies, where it warms your body up, kind of gets you a little more ready to, get it on.
I can just see everybody after listening to this podcast is going to be like, honey, just eat the wings. They're the super spicy. Just eat them.
Now, of course, that goes back to what does your partner like? If your partner doesn't like spice, just don't push the wings. If they do, that might be the key to their heart, so to speak.
Yeah.
Other foods that you may not have thought of. Let's see. What's a fun one? Oh, seafood. All seafood is a great choice.
That makes sense.
Not just oysters. And it's for a variety of reasons. Salmon, all of it tends to be lean protein. And we need that protein, we need that energy, right? And so that goes back to like the nutrition side. And also, for example, the fish, the oilier fish have omega-3 fatty acids, which are also good for mood. So it's really thinking about it's not just like what's a lighter food. It's like what food is going to help improve my mood and what food's going to give me energy. And of course, we talked about fiber. So yeah.
It's so sad that we talked about fiber in the first 15 minutes of this interview.
Yeah.
It just shows where things are going. But that's great. Those are all great things. So what is it about wine? Like, so for me, I like wine. I'm writing a book about wine. I enjoy wine. It's great, but it turns my face bright red. It makes me all sweaty. I don't feel particularly sexy when I'm drinking wine. Plus I get so tired and so sleepy with wine. So what is it about wine and what am I doing wrong? Am I drinking it wrong? Do I need to be like adding like a spritz to it or something? Like, what am I doing wrong? And also, why is wine always so associated with romance and romanticism and stuff like
that? Oh my goodness, there were so many questions in there. I'm going to start with the romance part, and then we'll try to diagnose you. But first, the romance. So wine, it's got this history. It's kind of the Bacchus, Dionysus, all of these sort of tied with revelry and sex and debauchery. It's just kind of in Western culture, it's kind of ingrained, which I think is a great thing. And beyond that, wine. So there have been a few different people who've studied wine and its how its interplay with romance. And there is one researcher in Australia who found that scents in certain wines replicate human pheromone aromas. So it could be that just smelling some wines, not all wines, may just turn you on. So that's one of the Pinot Noir. The aroma of a good Pinot Noir can simply be a turn on its own. Riesling as well. Sometimes
you heard it here, folks. Yeah. Riesling and Pinot Noir smell like BO. So go and get it.
Those Blanc de Blanc champagnes with that sort of yeasty brie cheese, turn on. Both men and women. So there you are. Others, sometimes they say like the earthier Cabernets, leathery kind of Cabernets, also very sexy. So these wines and you don't even have to drink it. Just the aromas can really be, can bring about that feeling.
How do you feel about maybe with some of those Cabernets, the $150 price tag on there probably also brings.
And yes, and sometimes both the champagnes and the Cabernets, yes, sometimes.
$300
of it, right? The indulgence of it could just be the turn on. Like, oh, you bought that for me? Well,
you have to think about your partner.
Yeah, it depends on the partner.
It doesn't work the opposite way a lot of times, but you have to think about your partner. If that bottle of wine's $450, there's going to be some aphrodisiacness to it. Right?
Yes, there's that as well, for sure. So now, as for diagnosing your problems, do you notice that? I'm curious. Do you notice this with both red and white wine?
No, just red wine. I get super flush and sweaty and tired. But only if it's mostly like you're talking about like a cab, but there's some other ones, some blends and stuff that I really like that do it, that don't make me turn the worst shade of purple. Yeah. But some of them do. So what can I do? Like, what if I want to bring a young lady to to a winery, to Wine and Diner?
Yes.
And how can I avoid becoming a red hot, sweaty mess? Basically, like, did you see that Captain America movie with the Hulk at the end where Harrison Ford was all red and angry? That's kind of like what it is.
I haven't seen it, but I believe you. So I would say I was having a discussion about this yesterday with some members of the wine community. We were talking about histamines, and most people who think they have a reaction to sulfites, it's usually has to do with histamines. My guess would be that's probably the case with you as well. You might try taking an antihistamine before you go, like an over-the-counter one. That might help. But what I would really do if I were you is just note what kind of wines make me a hot, sweaty mess, and avoid drinking them around anyone I want to impress. Like that's it.
Well, I mean, maybe if they're out on a date with me, they probably are okay with a hot, sweaty mess every time.
Well, then go for it. Open that.
Kind of comes with the territory. So okay, so I took a Benadryl, and then I went out.
Well, I wouldn't take a Benadryl, but one let you go to sleep.
Now I'm passed out. And she's ordered.
She's gone ahead and ordered.
She's gone ahead and ordered the $350 cab. So she's feeling
fine with it after that Benadryl. Yeah.
She's invited a couple other dudes over to the table to have that cab with her, and I'm asleep, so I'm fine. Yes. So how do we? So when we're say we're at a winery, what do you think about like the meat and cheese board? Is that a good way to go? Like when you're doing like the winery date, because wineries don't often have food. There's only a couple here that offer like a full menu. So like, what do you think about that wine and cheese board, that sort of charcuterie play? Is that a good way to do? I always found that thing like it's nice, but it doesn't really get a lot of action. Like nobody wants to eat like all of it. You know what I mean?
Huh. I don't know. I go out with people who like make that thing disappear really quickly. So I go out with very hungry people, I guess.
I love it.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea. Like it's not, obviously it's not a real meal, and I wouldn't do it every day.
So it's light.
It's
light.
It's light, but it's also fatty. Like if it's all those meats, so it's like it's not. It's not if you're looking to eat for your sexual health. No, that's not really. But yes, for a little something to have with the wine, I think is a smart choice. Especially if you don't know your date that well, having a little food along with it, make sure neither one of you kind of overindulges, right? Have a little.
Yeah.
Also, cheese is historically considered aphrodisiac, so maybe you'll get turned on.
Does that kind of work with smelly cheese too? Like, is that why the French like their smelly cheese so much?
Oh yeah, the French tend to be rather sexy. They're
they get it.
Yeah, they get it.
They can get it.
Smelly cheese,
as the kids like to say.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah. Okay. So we get the smelly cheese, we get the cab, and then we get those. Maybe don't take a shower like for a day or two before the date.
No, please take a shower.
I'm just trying to figure out
maybe
the best way to do
go
this.
light on the cologne.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, cologne, and also guys out there that are listening, and some of you ladies, the deodorant that has a really pungent smell, not great.
No.
Cologne also not great, right?
Not great either for wine tasting or for turning someone on. Neither is great.
Yeah, because you want to smell the wine, not your.
You want to smell the wine, and honestly, you want a little human smell as well. It's actually, you may think, that sounds like I don't want to smell a person, but it's actually a turn on. They've been able to give women T-shirts that have been worn by their partner, and they can pick out their partner from the T-shirt. Like it's a thing.
Oh.
You want a little bit of that human coming through.
So let's talk to a lot of brewery owners and a lot of brewery restaurant workers listen to this show. I imagine, I hope, who knows? And it's really just us talking right now. But so I was recently. Let me get comfortable here, Amy. I gotta talk to you. You and I, we're gonna have a chat.
Okay.
So I went to a Valentine's Day dinner. This was way back in whichever month it's in, March, I want to say.
Okay.
And we sit down to eat, and the first course that comes out is a salad. And the salad is covered in red onion. Just raw red onion. Okay. I'm stupid, but even I know, I don't know anything about anything, but I know that raw red onion on Valentine's Day is a real kick in the crotch from the chef. Thanks a lot. We just paid $150 a person to sit down at this stupid restaurant, and the first course you bring out is the smelliest fucking thing that you could imagine. And there it is.
Yeah.
So let's talk to restaurant. And then the rest of the meal was just who cares? Because you got raw red onion on your breath. It doesn't matter what happens. It's going to be in your skin. Talk about human scent. That's your scent for the rest of the night.
Right.
So let's talk to some of these brewery. Do you see what I mean? And then the rest of the night, you're just I might as well just start ordering whiskeys. Who cares? It's over. So, and that's, by the way, we should get into that. Let's get into that too. I'll make a note about that. Least aphrodisiac-y drinks. We're going to get to that. But let's talk to brewery owners. Let's talk to brewery restaurant. Because we haven't talked about beer at all, which I assume the reason is because it's the least aphrodisiac drink there could be. It's gassy.
I wasn't going to say it. You said it, but yeah.
I get it. We get it. There are some beers though. I think we'll get into that too. But let's talk to restaurant and brewery owners really quick. Let's do a menu. Let's do a full 3-course menu with pairings. What are we starting with? Let's make it easy. We'll do starter, main, dessert. What are we starting with? What's our starter? How do we make this? Because this son of a bitch at this restaurant that put those red onions on the salad, this guy was not looking out for me.
No.
He didn't care about he didn't give one shit about my night. My night was basically done.
Yep.
He did not care.
I think it was a he. Over the years, I've done a lot of consulting with restaurants on putting together a Valentine's menu. And there have been so many chefs where I've had to say, please don't do that to people. Don't think about their experience here. Don't do that.
As an addendum to that story, I went into that same restaurant. I don't know why. To sit at the bar, and I told the bartender, I was like, "Hey, you should tell your chef that next Valentine's Day, maybe leave the red onions off the goddamn salad."
Yes.
And she goes, "I think he knows what he's doing." Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't. You don't know what you're doing. So let's do it. Amy knows what she's doing. Amy's an expert on this. Amy, what are we starting out with? What's our first?
I would start with something light and energizing, maybe a crudo. Yeah. Or a tuna.
This is raw, something raw, right? Yeah.
Something raw would be very sexy. If you want to do something that's not raw, maybe an artichoke that you can share and dip in something, and then it's interactive, your hands brush. It's still reasonably light, something like that. That could be a little bit interactive and not too heavy. We want to avoid super carby things and super fatty things. That's simple. And then for our main course, again, something, a nice piece of protein that's not too heavy. I often encourage wild game because it's sexy and different and exotic. That's a choice that I like. I mentioned seafood is another choice that I like. I usually encourage chefs to avoid pasta dishes, and except if it's a ravioli that's maybe stuffed with vegetables or something, that's a little lighter. Not sausage stuff.
Ravioli is also pillowy.
Pillowy, exactly.
Pillowy?
It's pillowy.
Pillowy's good.
Yes, pillowy is very good. I encourage, don't do something mundane like a chicken, right? Yeah. But don't do something heavy like a porterhouse or a big fettuccine Alfredo. So that's
where are we at here, Amy? What are we at? You just
wild
named
game,
all the
yeah,
foods.
Wild game, our pillowy ravioli, our seafood. That's what we should do for our main course. Yeah.
So if we do an artichoke first, Then we do like a piece of fish for this. I like salmon or
Sure.
maybe like tuna. I always like tuna. For some reason, I find the tuna is kind of sexy. The way it's sort of like crispy on the outside, but like raw on the inside. I kind of
Nice
like
seared
that, right?
tuna. That is sexy.
Yeah.
That is sexy.
Yeah. Salmon.
The salmon's kind of mundane.
It fills me up.
Yeah. Although you can do spectacular things with salmon, but in general, like if you put a piece of grilled salmon on someone's plate, it's a little bit mundane. Yeah.
It's just, it just fills me up. For some reason, salmon fills me up like great. Like it's just more than steak, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So we're having an artichoke. Wait, what's the wine pairing? What's the drink pairing?
I know. Now I gave you an artichoke. I made that hard, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
How about a Riesling? Start with a nice.
How about a Riesling? Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I offer just a little bit, just my 2 cents here?
Yeah.
You know what I like with that artichoke?
What?
A martini.
I mean, that's fine. Just only one. Just one, right?
Just one. Just the one. You only need one.
Yes.
Okay, so we have our artichoke with our Riesling or our martini, however we want to go.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more fun. I get it. Then our second course, what's our entree going to be?
So I gave you a wine pairing.
Oh, did I say wine? Oh, okay. Drink pairing. Let's say drink.
Drink pairing. Oh, okay.
No, you're right. I totally gamed the system on that one. All right. So second, what are we doing? What are we doing second? Let's make a decision.
Game? Venison?
Let's do wild game. I love the wild game idea. What are we doing?
Venison, maybe a berry, like a berry kind of sauce, maybe some polenta, so it's not too heavy of a starch, right? Nice. Okay, so what are we gonna have with that?
What are we pairing with that?
I might go with that Pinot Noir.
Okay.
I'm sticking with wine, but I said that's the sexy wine, so I'm gonna put it right in there. Yeah.
That big BO wine, Pinot Noir.
Heck yeah!
All right. I love it. So we have a nice, like, what do we do in Oregon, California? I think I know which way you're kind of going.
Oh, you think I'm going to Oregon?
I think you're going to California.
Oh no, I was thinking Oregon.
Oh, Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or maybe France.
So got some... Oh yeah.
If you're a big spender, maybe France.
There's that.
We did
that
talk about
third
those
component.
French, get some.
The secret component. I like the French idea. So we do like, what is that? Is that it's not Burgundy, it's the other one. It's starts with a B.
It's Burgundy.
Not Beaujolais. Is it Burgundy?
It's Burgundy.
Okay, Burgundy. I had it right the first time.
I thought you were coming up with something magical there. I was like, what's he got? No, it's Burgundy.
No, nothing magical.
Okay.
It's Burgundy.
We're going to Burgundy.
So for those of you that don't know, Burgundies are Pinot Noirs. That's how it goes. I knew that, but I forgot that I knew that and was questioning myself.
Now you're running back around.
I look like an idiot. Okay, so what are we doing for dessert?
Ooh. Again, I like interactive. So maybe we can do a little chocolate fondue, some small pieces of like a vanilla, like little pieces of vanilla cake, little cubes, and then some fresh berries and dipping them in chocolate so that you're, reaching back and forth. You could feed each other if you were really so inclined. Just something super sexy. I think maybe we might slow it down on the wine because you're probably going to go home and have more drinks, right? Or slow it down on the martinis and wine. Maybe
fingers crossed, unless I'm blasting my mouth with mouthwash from the red onion. Okay, so espresso.
Have an espresso, yeah. With our berries, a little bit of cake, some chocolate.
Hey, and for those of you that haven't quite reached adulthood yet, having an espresso after a big meal is amazing.
It is.
It boosts you up. It gives you a little bit of energy. It's not like a giant
digestion
cup of
too.
Yep.
So.
It really is awesome. Like if you go to like a fancy steakhouse, like next time you go to Ruth's Chris, for instance, I love Ruth's Chris. The guy who runs the one here in Boise is a friend of mine. He's amazing. Don, if you're listening, and I hope you are. Hello. If you have that big porterhouse and you have the wine and everything, I like to do scotch with steak a lot too. So right afterwards, that espresso just boosts you right up, makes you feel like a living person again. Okay, so here's our menu so far. We have artichokes with I'm doing a martini, gin.
I'm having Riesling.
She's having Riesling. Amy's having Riesling. Dry Riesling, sweet Riesling. What are you thinking?
I'm going dry.
Dry.
Yeah.
We have some really good ones here in Idaho.
You do. Yes. That's kind of why I thought of Riesling. It's pretty
Viognier. So that's nice of you. Thank you so much. So we're doing the Riesling with the artichoke, and we're dipping it in like a butter, like a compound butter or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're touching hands. We're
Mm-hmm.
having a good time. We're laughing. It's all good. So then we're moving on the entree. We're having a nice piece of venison with maybe like a huckleberry compote, very Idaho. Then and with that, we're doing like a polenta or maybe like a couscous or some kind of light starch.
Light.
Something isn't. Yeah. Or maybe that sweet potato comes back into
sweet potato. Sweet potato would work with that very well.
Then we're doing the bottle of Pinot. So we're going to have a couple glasses of wine with that. Then at the end, instead of doing a drink with our dessert, which is going to be like a fondue with little pieces of vanilla cake and some berries and maybe banana.
I'll just go berries.
Just berries. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't like banana, folks.
No, it's just when you cut up banana, they get weird, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't eat them right away, they get weird. And then that's just not sexy.
Not sexy. Mm-hmm. So then we're doing that with an espresso. We're gonna lay off the booze for a minute. We're gonna do espresso because we just had the Pinot, we just had the Burgundy. So now we're backing off. We're staying safe, staying sober. We're looking good. We're being sexy. And then when you get back home, now what are we doing when we get back home?
If it were
What's the choice?
I would break out the bubbles. That's what I would do.
That's such a great idea. It's fantastic. It's just fantastic. Yes, champagne. You're celebrating. Yeah. You get home, the date went well, celebrate, pop. And guys, single guys out there, especially single guys, and even some of you married guys, always have a bottle of something bubbly in your fridge. I cannot stress this enough. Mm-hmm. Whether it's right, Amy, am I right?
I completely agree. Yes.
And does it matter, like if it's Cook's or if it's Bella Fonte or if it's, you know, like a really nice bottle, like if it's Veuve Clicquot, like, it's fine.
I think somewhere in between. I would not go to the Cooks. I would avoid that because more than anything, because it can give people indigestion. Just in case, would not go to the Cooks, but maybe a cava. You know, you can get a really great bottle of cava for under $20.
Yeah, so, Costco has that purple prosecco. They always have that. You can do that. I think it has. But anyway, they got that. There's also we actually have a winery here in Idaho that only does bubbles. It's called 3100 Cellars, and it's amazing. And they actually have canned ones too, so you can get like a can and you can pop that. It's not as much fun as popping the bottle though, guys.
No, it really isn't. Not after. Please don't pop the can after your Valentine's dinner. That's just not. Those are for like great for a picnic, outdoor concert. Perfect.
So we're popping a bottle after.
Yeah.
We're drinking champagne, and then yada yada yada. On goes the night. Now, okay, Amy, we've done a fantastic job. We have laid out an amazing date that is complete with all the fun and all the merriment you could expect from a date. Now, I have a question.
Okay.
Everything worked. It's post-adult fun time, so we're after adult fun time. And just the fact that I call it that means that I'm mature enough to talk about it. What do we have as a cool down? What's a good cool down? I don't know, water. We know all that. But what's a good, like, maybe we want a nice cool down. We want to relax. We're doing some basking. What's our cool down?
A basking cool down. You know, I'm going to sound like an old lady, but I would do a cup of tea.
Nothing wrong with that.
What
kind of tea are we thinking?
Warm and relaxing. It depends on what you like. I mean, green tea is always a great choice. Just it's so healthy and it's got just a simple, clean flavor. But if you don't like it or you don't want caffeine, then maybe something herbal. I wouldn't go too fruity though.
I'm a chai man. I like chai.
Chai would be great.
I think chai would be good too because a lot of people tend to leave out like chai, sort of like an Indian sort of flavor, like those flavors. A lot of people leave that out when they're talking about aphrodisiacs too, right? Like, so that might be something fun to talk about too. Like, what are some so we talked about kind of a real, that one that we laid out, which was perfect, by the way, was a very American, venison, artichoke. Right. This is a very American thing. So what are some cultural foods that maybe bring the same sort of heat as maybe our awesome, amazing American date that we put together?
Well, it's interesting that you bring up spices because many spices so all of the spices that we bake with, they're actually also referred to as the warming spices because they raise your body temperature. So cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, And so cultures that cook with those a lot, as you mentioned, Indian food, when you have those spices in your dish, it really helps to bring up your body temperature and can help put you in that kind of mood.
Mhm.
I know. So I have an Indian chef friend who really, I would say, well, most Indian food contains a lot of aphrodisiac spices. Although if you ask an Indian chef, they will get very specific about, well, have this with this spice if you're having problems with a low libido, and have this with this spice if you
Yeah.
just want to, have that sort of sexy meal with someone. So I am not an expert on that, but for sure you are definitely going down the right path. And Middle Eastern foods as well. A lot of them have these characteristics, have these spices, as well as rose water, which is often used in Middle Eastern cooking, also considered very aphrodisiac. Saffron.
famous for their open policy on lovemaking and sex. Middle Eastern.
Well, they got the food right. They got the food part.
They got the food right. They just need to work on the application of the food. Maybe that.
Yes.
That's a different show.
But we can enjoy these foods for what they should be.
I've always kind of thought that too, though. Like, I think kebab is very so for me, like, I'm a big grill guy. I like to smoke stuff. I'm like, I find like some of that stuff to be like kind of like maybe people don't realize it. Like, I think like meat grilled on fire, that's pretty good, right?
It is. I know exactly what you're saying. That sort of that just like hint of smoky and peppery. It is. It's sexy. It's much sexier than a piece of meat baked in the oven. Yes.
Yeah.
I totally
It's like
agree.
kind of primal maybe too, like just the fire and the smoke and the
definitely.
Yeah, I think that's kind of undervalued in the aphrodisiac community. You don't hear a lot. Mostly because guys like me it's mostly because guys like me that are into barbecue and grilling are like me. They're just like fat and weird and walking around. But I get it. I mean, you get Bobby Flay out there and he's throwing up some barbecue stuff, and ladies like that, nothing wrong with that. Go get him, Bobby. Okay, cool. So we've talked about.
There are no well-known female grill chefs, are there?
There are, but there are, yeah, and they're really good. There are some.
I can see there's a hole in the market for the hot, sexy.
Well,
woman in front of
your apron. Let's figure it out. We'll get some views. We'll get you up there. No, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is one. I've watched a lot of grill competition shows, and they don't come across to me like they're more like really awesome at grilling and less ready for being on TV and on runways. They're like Bobby. I don't know. Also, I don't know how good of a griller Bobby Flay is, honestly. Like he came to Richmond and he competed against Buzz and Ned's, which was a famous barbecue joint there, and he got his butt kicked by Ned, all 325 pounds of him. So like I don't know that 165-pound Bobby Flay is really going to be that good of a grill master. Honestly, you can't. It's just like, there's no like offensive linemen in football that are 185 pounds. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Like you gotta.
I think we be able to taste. Someone needs to shake up this grill market. I think we need just some hot woman carrying around a side of beef to, really.
And and you can go ahead and email idahoboozepod@gmail.com with your video entries. That would be amazing. We'll sort through them and we'll find the next great hot grill chef. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Love this idea. Amy, do you want to come on like every week? Like we should just have you on all the time.
Come up with a new idea every week for what's missing from the food world.
The biggest complaint I get about this show is lack of brain power. So this is perfect. Like you're really helping me out here. Okay. So a couple other things. Just, we still got some time. We're not running out of time. We still got lots of time here with Amy. So it's a Tinder world and I'm a Tinder girl. What do you think about, maybe door dashing something over to somebody while you're I'm on the app trying to sound both adventurous and funny and vulnerable and mature and manly all at the same time and make her laugh a bunch of times. I'm trying to do all this. what do you think about sneaking over a side app and sending over an app on DoorDash? That could be kind of fun, right?
You know, I've never thought of that. No one's ever suggested it to me, and I absolutely love it. I love that idea. Instead of sending someone flowers or, someone once tried to send me a fruit bouquet.
No, you don't like it?
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed the fruit, but that's just not like nothing.
For those of you not watching on YouTube, she is going like this. No fruit.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a lovely gesture that you send your grandma or your niece or whatever.
Those are two words you don't want to hear from a woman ever, guys. Lovely gesture. That's a bad sign.
But sending someone like DoorDashing a sexy app is kind of amazing. I love it.
Fire. You have to get it. The problem is you have to get her address, and that's going to cause some issues for good reason. There's a lot of weirdos out there, but not listening to this show.
That's awkward.
Yeah, that is awkward. I mean, I'm sure there's some dark web stuff. I'm not gonna. No. Anyway, okay, so let's see. What were we? We're gonna get to. There was something that I just had. Oh, what are some? Yeah, that's right. So, what are some drinks or food or whatever that are total vibe killers? Just will send you down the wrong path every time. Like things that you should absolutely never order on a date.
So, this isn't from firsthand experience or even from I get a lot of stories. I get a lot of secondhand experience. This is from what I have read. Research. I don't know if you want to believe a scientist, but they say no beer.
Yeah.
If you believe the scientist.
Sorry, 95% of you out there.
Now, I can't speak from firsthand experience because I'm allergic to both hops and brewer's yeast.
Oh boy.
No, I don't drink.
So you can't drink it. So it's a total buzzkill for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna need that Benadryl more than I do.
Right. Yes. So but that's always been the thing. Like, don't. Okay. Obviously,
no beer.
Nothing says forget it. Like fast food.
Okay.
Don't try to romance someone at the Golden Arches. No. No.
Most of them don't serve beer anyway, so
there's that.
You're gonna
don't show up at their house with a shake to cheer them up and think that you're gonna get lucky, right? It's not good. No.
What if it's a chocolate shake?
You're gonna make that person very happy, but they're not gonna instantly want to rip off their clothes. No.
Okay. So we got shake. Okay, what else? More like maybe in the alcohol universe.
Okay,
anything else?
The alcohol universe. Be careful with those Manhattans. Avoid the Long Island iced tea. Avoid anything that's like layers of 18 kinds of alcohol. That's always a bad idea. Terrible.
Here's the thing.
Terrible.
Rum is fun, but too much rum is not as much fun.
That's right.
There is definitely a inverse reaction with rum where the first rum drink is super fun. The second rum drink is also building on that fun a little bit. Yeah. And somewhere between the third and the 10th one is where things sort of go awry, right?
Yep. I recommend gin because I can have maybe half a drink and after that it starts to taste terrible. And then I know I'm like, I don't need any more gin. Yeah. It's like got this automatic.
Amy, it was too good to be true.
Want more. It tastes terrible.
It was too good to be true. It was so good. We were doing so well.
What? Oh. You don't like gin at all, or you love gin?
I love gin. No, I love gin.
Understand how it does. Like it's like it just turns off. It just shuts off at some point, halfway through a drink, maybe. Like nope, no more gin.
So that's fine. What about so you said Manhattans? Right. I assume that to mean whiskey. I think whiskey gets a bad rap because it deserves it. I don't think whiskey is a good date drink either. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think like a great Irish whiskey, like neat, could be very sexy. And then you're probably going to drink it slowly, right? Mm-hmm. Which helps. Yeah. You probably you'll be less inclined to overindulge because you'll feel it, right? with fruity drinks are dangerous because you don't feel it. But
Mm.
but something like that, like a neat whiskey, I think could be
Yeah.
very sexy. It's got to be good,
Scotch,
though. It's got to be
maybe.
good.
Okay, gotcha. So again, we're getting back to the $350 bottle of wine. Like it's got to be
Right.
like okay. So say we're back on the date scenario and everything has gone poorly. Like it's going bad. And you know it's going bad. The red onions were on the salad. Everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
Is there any way to rescue it with something like, so you're driving, like maybe she's in a bad mood or you're in a bad mood or whatever it is. What is and you said fast food was a no-go, but what is something maybe that we all have that's kind of ubiquitous that you can pull off to the side and might save things? Something quick. I mean, I'm thinking like if there's like a food truck or if there's like a taco stand or whatever it is, like what is it do you think that can get everybody back on the same page? And because nobody starts out on a date like wanting to have a bad time.
Right.
So how can we rescue a date going down into the dumps?
I mean, it depends on the person and it depends on the, sort of the moment. Because if you pulled over to a taco truck with me, I'd be like, please, I don't want anything more. Unless it was right before lunchtime and I was starving, then I'd be excited for the taco truck. But like after dinner, no. Or even like, those little donut trucks. Have you seen those? Like a donut truck, like you can have a hot donut, but it depends on the person. Maybe they just aren't into donuts. But if they are, like an order of little hot donuts could really bring things back around if you share it so you don't have too much, right? That could really
kind
bring
of
things
pillowy,
back around,
kind of soft.
lighten it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then like I'm always a big proponent of I like activity on dates. Like I like to do stuff.
Yep.
So like what if we're at like if we're going bowling or something like that? Like and that's that's like beer and nachos and fries and all the stuff that you said we should avoid. So how do we turn that into a potential romantic deal? If you guys have already decided that's what you want to do.
Maybe you just use the bowling night as the get to know you night, not the I'm going to get laid night. Honestly.
Not the closing night.
Because nothing about bowling says take me home and tear off my clothes. It says let's get to know each other better.
Knocking pins over, nothing.
No.
So bowling's not going to do it either. What's another activity thing that you would suggest that would be more like a lot more for the closing or for the like I said, third.
Maybe a concert, the right concert. Okay. That would really do it. Definitely.
Concert.
Yeah.
And then at the concert, just drink it. Maybe if they have wine, because that's another beer rich environment.
Yeah. Try to find something that's not beer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
My husband, his thing is if we go to a concert, he'll get us vodka soda. You don't get terribly, it's not sweet. You don't get that sort of sweetness headache. You don't get the spike from caffeine. You don't get the bloat from beer. Yeah. Vodka soda.
Okay. Yeah. Love it. So, and we're going to wrap up here real quick. What are some non-alcohol sort of romantic, like maybe drinks or, what are some things that are not, that we haven't talked about already that we can utilize in our dating life to maximize some of these things? So like, we went over the oysters, we went over champagne, what are maybe some non-alcohol, maybe if someone doesn't drink or if you don't want to drink that day or if you don't want to drink that night, what are some other kind of ideas that work? Can't imagine it's Diet Coke.
No, it's probably not a Diet Coke. I was just thinking in one of my cookbooks, I did a mint lemonade. That can be nice. Citrus is actually good for your sexual health, and mint is breath freshening and invigorating. So it can help to wake you up. You'll have better smelling breath than you did after that onion salad. Yeah, that's a good one.
I want to name that restaurant so badly. You have no idea right now. I'm just on the verge of doing it. All right.
And we mentioned the espresso. Ending the meal with the espresso is a great choice. And the other thing that I haven't said, and it's so boring and so obvious, but hydration is one of the most important things for your sex life.
Fiber and water, everybody.
Yeah, drink your water.
Oh man, Amy, you are a classic. So great. I knew water was gonna come up. Stupid water. Do you know what fish do in that? We make it better at the brewery. What we do is we take it, we make it better. Uh, all right, Amy Reiley, your website is eatsomething.sexy.com. Go ahead and tell us a little bit more. You said you had at least one cookbook. How many cookbooks are we talking about here?
I
What
do.
all can we plug yourself? Let's hear everything.
All right.
I want to know
I
all
have
about it.
3 cookbooks you can choose from. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to eatsomething.sexy.com/everything.
Oh,
You can find it all there. The first thing you should do is first thing at the top, sign up for the mailing list, because I'm going to send you a special gift. Is a list of my favorite sexy snack foods. So you know what to pack for that sexy picnic, the sexy, whatever it is. Or if you have to take a road trip, you've got your arsenal of food, so that at the end of that long road trip, you've got something fun waiting for you. Okay, so
granola and smart water.
eatsomething.com and bring your water. eatsomething.sexy.com/everything. It's all there.
All right. Well, Amy Reiley, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Really appreciate it. Awesome job. Fantastic to talk to you all about this fun stuff. And we're gonna tailor some of this. Hopefully everybody's able to go out there and tailor it for the upcoming holidays. I can't imagine a least sexy holiday than Thanksgiving, but we're all going to try our hardest with our sweet potatoes. Just eat sweet potatoes.
Perfect.
Stay away from that awful turkey and the tryptophan and all that stuff. Stuffing is the best, but it's got to be just the word, right? These are all stuffing, mashed potatoes, turkey.
Yeah.
That's why we do Thanksgiving with our families, right?
Right. High alcohol wines. I often recommend for those family gatherings, the high alcohol wines.
Oh my God, yes. Zin. Bring on the Zin.
Bring on the Zin. Exactly.
Such a great idea. So we're going to do that. And then, but more for like Christmas, for holidays, stuff like that. You can definitely utilize some of this stuff that we've talked about today for that. I can't imagine celebrating the holidays with anything other than champagne. I'm with you 100% on that one. And Amy, we're going to have you hopefully back on for Valentine's Day, so we can get into the weeds more about some of the sexy ideas we're going to have for Valentine's Day, right?
Sounds good.
Get you back on here in a few months, whenever Valentine's Day is. Again, I think it's January. Can't remember. But thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Really appreciate it. We're going to be right back on the show with the Boise, what are we going to do? Boise Beer Buddies community calendar right after this. Thank you, Amy. Holiday season is here, and what better way to recover after a Black Friday brawl than with a beer? I'll tell you a better way. What if that beer was cheaper? That's the beauty of a Boise Beer Buddies card. One card gives you multiple ways to save money at bars, restaurants, breweries, wineries, homebrew, supply stores, and more, all throughout Idaho. Now your solo Beer Buddies card is creating beef with your best drinking buddy? Oh, that can't happen. I have the answer for that as well. Go to boisebeerbuddies.com, use my promo code BOOZEPOD at checkout, and get a free card when you purchase yours. That's a red hot BOGO from Boise Beer Buddies and the Idaho Booze Podcast. Promo code BOOZEPOD at boisebeerbuddies.com. Be a buddy. Get your Boise Beer Buddies card today. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. Wasn't she great, Amy? God, she's awesome. Can't wait to have her back on for Valentine's Day. And for now, we're going to go into the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar. Not a whole lot going on. We have, let's see, We the People, Feed the People still going on at some breweries across the Treasure Valley, including Bear Island, Brownbeard, Ruckus, Loose Screw, and Gem State, all trying to raise some food. It looks like get some food in for the Salvation Army. You can do that until the 24th. Let's see, one more day left of Thanksgiving. That's going on today until the end of the day. 107.1 Hank FM is at Coppin Ross Craft House and Grill to do Thanksgiving. I'm not really sure what they're doing. I guess they're trying to raise some money, it looks like. All right, well, get on over to Coppin Ross, help them out. Big news, we got the first anniversary Loose Screw downtown. This is their new, now a year old, Meridian Brewery Tap Room. This is going on all weekend. They're going to celebrate big with 2 barrel-aged beer releases. We're going to have entertainment all weekend long. Plus, there's going to be a VIP member rollout for 2026. Special Big Beats taco menu, merch sale and giveaway. Vendor partner appearances from Proletariat Wine, Craftwell Cocktails, Two Towns, Cider House, and more. Come raise a glass, snag your 2026 VIP membership, and celebrate an incredible year. Yeah, that'll be fun. Go check that out. Loose Screw all weekend long, downtown Meridian. Let's see, Thanksgiving Bubbly Relief Week going on at House of Wine. Also, knife sharpening pop-up at Meriwether Cider House. Go get those knives sharpened before Turkey Day. That'll be a lot of fun. So not a lot going on in the Boise Beer Buddies community calendar, but still pretty good stuff going on. Make sure, go check out Loose Screw for that 1 year anniversary. That's really cool. Good for you. Congratulations to Loose Screw. Well, that is going to do it, my friends. We are all finished for today's show. I want to thank Amy Reiley for coming on and just crushing it in the aphrodisiac department. It was a very adult conversation. I hope all of you were up for it. I could swear I could hear some giggling going on through the speakers. And you know what? I don't blame you. A lot of that was really funny. But make sure you take her advice. That is some really good stuff she was teaching us there. So make sure you heed that advice. Listen closely, and next time you go on a date or next time you take the wife out or your partner, you can make sure that you have an awesome end of evening because of what Amy taught us. She was awesome. Thank you so much, Amy, for being on the show. Thank you to Warren Reserve. Thanks for being a sponsor of the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you to Treasure Valley Chevron and Boise Beer Buddies. Really appreciate all of you too out there for listening. We finally got to 100 subscribers on the Substack. Thank you to everyone who subscribes on the Substack. If you're not a subscriber already, go to idahobooze.substack.com and subscribe. Sorry, you can't be part of the first 100, but maybe you can be part of the next 1,000. That would be really nice. So get on there and subscribe. You can also see a lot of my content on there, including craft beer dying. Oh, we've not had craft beer die here in a couple weeks. I think on Monday, we're going to have to reopen that investigation and see what killed craft beer this week. Hint. It happened in Oregon, and it was huge news. Huge. Anyway, I want to thank everybody out there for listening. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. And we should be back next week, hoping to get, maybe do that Big Bad Baptist thing. If we don't do that, then maybe we'll be off next week. Still kind of looking into it. We got Thanksgiving, everything else coming up. So if I don't see you, if I don't hear from you, have a happy holiday and gobble, gobble. Good drinking and good day, everyone.